Mark Carney is a crooked banker. He's no better than a politician.
Hey, so I'd like to make a couple of comments on your post. I see that you're a new content creator, so I don't think you've been here very long. Based on the posts that you've made on your page, it seems that you're posting a lot of the conservative propaganda that's going on right now. So if that's the case, then the messages that you're seeing and everything that you're seeing on TikTok is going to be following a certain algorithm, right? That algorithm has you now locked into that propaganda. So that's all you're going to see, right? And the same thing happens on my side too. So what I'd like to do is share with you some of the stuff that's going on my side. And that way, if you'd like to fact check me, you can. So you made a comment that Carney's a banker and, all of those things, and that he doesn't stand for the common man. I would like to ask you if you've read his book, Values. So he published this book well before he was getting involved in politics. And this book is about how he feels about society as a whole, how he feels about the way, the differences between communism and socialism and, the ways different economy works, free trade, all of those things. And if you actually read his book, he talks very sincerely about how he believes that people in our society on the lowest end, our weakest links, basically, are what hold us back from becoming better. He believes that helping people as a whole come up and helping the economy as a whole come up makes Canada into a superpower. And this is what his mission is. And I've had conservatives that have been lifelong conservatives their whole lives, never voted Liberal, never anything. And they read this book. And if you go back in one of my posts, there's actually a guy that talks about it. And they read this book and they read about who Mark Carney is as a person, his family values, what he believes in. And this man changed his mind and will now be voting Liberal because of the policies that Mark Carney believes in. So check out his book and see what you think. Again, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. So the second point that you were talking about was Brexit over in England. So let's clarify that a little bit. So Mark Carney was head of the Bank of England at the time that Brexit was about to go through. Mark Carney actually advised the Parliament not to go through with Brexit. He told them it was the worst idea that they ever had. Bad idea. I'm not even going to do this job anymore. I'm planning on getting out of here. Whatever. So now the UK goes through with Brexit and they beg Mark Carney to stay behind. So Mark Carney was actually able to save their pension plans through that whole disaster. So unfortunately, the next prime minister that was voted in was a woman named Liz Truss. Liz Truss was a was head of the government for only 45 days before she was kicked out because she ruined their economy so badly. This was after Mark Carney left. So Liz Truss is actually the worst prime minister in their history, and they removed her from office immediately. So when you're hearing those rumors that Mark Carney destroyed the Bank of England, that's where it's coming from. It's coming from Liz Truss, the woman that they fired after 45 days for doing such a horrible job. And just because we're here, I'm going to touch on a couple other things. So the whole photos with China thing that's going on out there, that's actually been debunked. Those photos were taken at a general leadership conference that was taking place. There was no secret meetings anywhere. They actually went back. If you look up actually Rachel Gilmore, she's a fantastic fact checker. She's got a lot of information that'll show that they used identifiers in the building to identify the flags in the photo, the flooring, all of the things. Those photos were just taken at a general leadership conference. So did Carney meet those people? Yeah, he met them, but politicians meet famous other people all the time. They don't vet everybody they shake hands with and smile for a photo. Like, yeah, sure, he met them, but there was no secret meeting. And one more note, as for the interference from China, they actually said that, yes, China was trying to interfere in our election. However, the comments that were being flooded on the social media of Chinese Canadians from the Chinese apps actually had information that was both positive towards the Liberals and negative towards the Liberals. It didn't mean they were actually trying to assist him. Because technically, if you look at it, China doesn't care who's in power. They don't care. They just want to make division in our country to see what other people can do, to see what the United States is going to do, how they're going to respond. They just want to create division. They don't care who wins. They have no benefit one way or the other to somebody that wins. So those are just some of the things I'm hearing on my side of the coin. So if you disagree with anything I'm saying, that's totally fine. I agree. Send me a post or duet me or whatever and show me some of the things that you're seeing on your side. And maybe we can talk about those things and learn together. Because I think slinging mud at each other back and forth isn't really going to get us to where we need to be. We need to kind of understand each other and what each other is afraid of with this election and why we're voting for the people that we're voting for, so we can dispel any fears just in case they're not right. And maybe I've got information that's wrong as well. And if so, I would love to hear from you. So thanks for your post. Either way, elbows up. We got to stand for Canada, right?